About 50% of people I get into a sales meeting with me says yes and accepts our services and becomes paying clients. That leaves 50% who rejects our offer. Now 50% are spectacular numbers, and I don't really want to turn this into a sales video. I wanted to talk about the reasons why some people don't want our product. Approximately 80% of those declining our services are doing so because they want to build something themselves. What could possibly go wrong? You know, it sounds easy to build a customer service AI chatbot. I mean, after all, it's a RAG database based upon embeddings, doing linear algebra lookups, having some sort of vectorization service such as, OpenAI's embeddings API, passing that on as context to OpenAI's completion endpoint, having it use that as context to answer the original question phrased by the user. But trust me, there is a billion moving parts to that thing. Such as, where does your data originate from? Can you somehow transform it into text intelligently? If your data is too large, how are you going to chop it up into, sizable chunks of RAG training snippets? How do you go ahead, construct a high quality system message, etc., etc. And I haven't even started talking about the front-end JavaScript widget library. How do you create a chat widget without spending 3 gigabytes of freaking bandwidth every single time somebody visits your website? You see, the not invented here syndrome has basically resulted in that literally 95% of every software project ever created is a hot smoking pile of garbage. Because instead of asking themselves how they can reuse existing libraries and tools and frameworks, a software developer, once confronted with the problem, would try to solve that problem using software development, which is the fundamentally wrong approach to that solution. The first thing a software developer should ask himself once confronted with a problem is, how do I avoid having to create code to solve this problem? I've had clients that became clients of me because they had 4 software developers trying for almost 2 years to create a high quality AI customer service type of chatbot themselves. With senior, super skilled software developers working at it non-stop for 2 years before they came back to me and said, okay, we give up. How much are your services? So if we do the math on this, a software developer in Limassol, which is a fairly inexpensive country compared to US or London, would probably ask you for at least $5,000 per month. That's $60,000 per year multiplied by 3, $180,000 multiplied by 2 years, $360,000 this company wasted. Now, trying to do it themselves, when they could have paid me $298 a month multiplied by 12, becoming $3,600, implying that they could have had that AI chatbot running on their website for 10 years and they would still have saved money relatively to the amount of money they just wasted on trying to implement something themselves. And this is called the not invented here syndrome. Now, to show you an example of just how easy, let's say you have a startup, okay? You want to start a patent, AI, search company, SaaS company, where you're selling, subscriptions to your users such that they can like search for patents or something. Then, okay, you need payments integration, you need SSO integrations, you need the front end, you need a RAG database, you need, an OpenAI API middleware layer where you can like construct queries and associate with context, and then you need to invoke some API that are returning, patents related information, etc., etc. We're easily talking about 4 to 6 software developers working for a couple of years, implying simply salary costs alone will probably be $500,000. I charge $498 a month for that. If you want that SaaS company, you start an enterprise license with me, $498 a month. A couple of days later, you've got it. Let me show you how. Here is one of my demonstration cloudlets. I'm going to go to manage, I'm going to go to plugins, and then I'm going to search for SERP API, and then I'm going to install this plugin. Now you do need, for the record, if you want to have like more than 100 queries per month, you do need a SERP API account, which is going to cost you like, I think it's $70 a month or something. Can't remember. Doesn't matter. I'm going to copy this bugger here. And I'm going to close this guy. Then I'm going to go to manage. I'm going to go to machine learning. I'm going to create a new type. I'm going to call it patents chatbot. Then I'm going to choose, actually I don't need the flavor, I can just paste in the system message here. Then I am going to save it, and I'm done. So now I have an AI chatbot that I can use to search for and analyze patents. Search for patents related to coffee machines. Let's see what it comes up with. Here you can see some dude in Japan, fragrance cartridge, bed having user context sensitive features apparently related to coffee, load control device for a light emitting diode light source. Okay, let's tell me more about number 1. And already at this point it's got access to 280 million patents or something. So now it's going to find the details about the fragrance cartridge patent. And here you see the assignee, priority date, when it was filed, publication date, the abstract description, classification, legal status, and is it easily upheld in court, and is it still valid? Right, so now I can ask the AI to analyze this particular patent based upon the information it's got. So now it answers me. The information indicates that the patent is currently active with an anticipated expiration date, 2039, etc., etc. Legal challenges, if the patent has been challenged in court, blah, blah. So it gives me like a detailed analysis of whether or not it's easily upholdable in court, etc. Now, the point being that, for me, this is a 5-minute job because I do nothing but this, right? Well, for a software developer who hasn't already done this, right, then doing this is the equivalent of having your, car shop repair mechanic dude cutting your hair, using the argument of that is good with tools. Now, every now and then there exists this one guy who happens to be really good at both cutting hairs and fixing cars, but it's a rarity. If you find that guy, let me know. It's luck, right? You see, being a software developer isn't one profession. It's a million different professions. If you think you can outperform me on AI and chatbots, you're crazy. You're batshit crazy. So imagine you have some guy. He's applying for a job over LinkedIn. You have a vacant position. He needs to know Python, NoSQL, Mongo, Angular, or React. Okay, so check. Guy passes with flying colors. He spent the last 5 years working in health-related software, creating, charts for blood pressure and, journal systems and God knows what. And now he's going to do fintech in Forex trader company. So now he's got to spend 2 months understanding the lingo. What the fuck is leverage? What does spread mean? What's a symbol? Which currency is mentioned first in the symbol? What's a short position? What's a long position? What's a margin call? And if you don't understand any of the words I just said now, that was intentional, for the record. You see, just because a guy knows Python, SQL, RavenDB, and React, doesn't mean he understands your problem domain. You see, when a traditional software developer approaches the problem of AI, like I have done non-stop consistently now, exclusively, it's been my sole work, then over time he acquires a shitload of domain-specific knowledge that allows him to see solutions to problems that other software developers cannot even imagine. However, because the software developer just sees another software developer, and at the end of the day, it's all freaking algorithms and classes and, microservices and, HTTP invocations, he falsely assumes that he can solve the problem. So what you end up doing is that you end up hiring 3 guys or taking 3 guys off your internal teams. These guys you're paying $60,000 each per month minimum, probably much more if you're living in the US or Northwest Europe. They work for 2 years on the problem. Congratulations. You now flush down $360,000 into the toilet. You could run my AI chatbot for 100 years for $360,000, assuming you can get away with the professional plan for $298 a month. And not only that, but those 3 software developers whom you just paid $360,000 to deliver something that doesn't work, never will work, and inevitably will be replaced by my shit 3 years down the road anyways, could have been working on something else. They could have fixed one of the bugs you already have in your application, prohibiting, for instance, 10% of your users being able to deposit into their MetaTrader 4 account, etc., 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 etc. But no, you wanted to become an AI strategical company? Good luck with that.